If you're a woman and you feel like you are doomed to never be as strong as the men that you train with, I've got something to tell you. If you're a man and you feel like you'll also be never as strong as some of the big guys in your gym, then listen up. So there are biological differences between men and women in terms of what type of training that they respond best to and how you should program for them. That's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about is the self-imposed limit that we put on ourselves before we even start that just hampers our progress. Sometimes it's told it's done by society, sometimes it's ourselves, and sometimes it's a dickhead personal trainer, which really annoys me. Now, the truth is, your progress is completely determined by the consistency of the application of your inputs, and that's it. Now, I've got a couple of stories for you that kind of prove this point. So, I trained with one of my clients, a girl who just started training, and I noticed she would always pick lower weights than what I knew that she was capable of. And I think this is just because of the expectations she had of herself, and she felt that, because I'm a small girl, I'm not going to be able to lift this much weight, for example. So she set up and said, okay, I'm going to do some dumbbell bench. She thought she was doing the 12s. I secretly handed her the 18s. She'd never done more than 12 before, and she busted out a PB of reps. She hit 10 reps with that, having only previously done 8 reps with the 10s or the 12s before. So just shows that a lot of this stuff is in your head. I had another female client that didn't have this kind of self-imposed limit, and her attitude was, well, I'm training with you, Yusef. You're deadlifting 220, then why can't I? And that is a fantastic attitude because it just blew away any of those limits. That girl, Sophie, went on to compete at nationals, squatted 135 kilos, benched 80 kilos, and deadlifted 185. So by not having those limits, she didn't artificially place a barrier on where she could get to in the first place. And now she gets people come up to her giving her unsolicited advice and bro tips just because I think they're maybe made to feel a bit uneasy that she's lifting more weight than them. So the answer is yes, women can absolutely lift more weight and be stronger than men. Yes, there are biological differences, but often you're not going to be running up against those as the first thing. There's the Navy SEALs quote, which is, when your mind is telling you that you're done, you're really only 40% done. If it doesn't suck, then we don't do it. And that is the way of forcing us to get uncomfortable with, to figure out what our baseline is, what our comfort level is, and then just turning that upside down. All right, so that is all I've got for today. Let me know if you have any topics that you want us to cover over the next few weeks. And if you want some help with your diet and training, look no further than the link below. All right, speak to you next week.